Hello guys, welcome to vlearnias. Today we are going to have a discussion on editorial and news analysis dated 16th August 2022. Today there is not that much in news for discussion because yesterday it was whole celebration of Independence Day. I took an article relating to Northeastern region integration which comes in the syllabus of regionalism from paper 1 of general studies. So let's begin the discussion. So first of all, we will look into the status of Northeast India. So Northeast India is known as seven sister states. So which are these seven sister states? First is Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura. These are the seven sister states. Okay. Among them, the largest city is in Guwahati, which is in Assam. Population is around 44 lakhs. So these are the major distribution of religion in this region. So Hinduism is the most, followed by Islam and Christianity. Buddhism and other religions are also there. This is a map of Northeast India. So this is Northeast India, which covers almost the 7 states. So now let's look into the context. We know that India's view is in change again, and any return to mainstream versus upstream friction poses danger. So this contest is mainly on the basis of uh, Citizenship Amendment Act, where there is a perception of mainstream versus upstream friction is again taking place. So on this backdrop, the integration of Northeast India into the mainstream Indian life has been on the national agenda since the beginning of India's journey on independent nation. You know that when our country got independence, from that time onwards, there was agenda of integrating this Northeast region to the mainland region. There has been disconnect of the Northeast region from the mainland India in almost every aspect, whether it is cultural, physical connectivity, political, economical, and in every aspect this connectivity is very poor. And the region has always been as somewhat in the foreign and in need of assimilation, which is also reflects in the administrative terms. That means from historical time onwards, this region was in need of assimilation since it was in the hands of foreigners for a long time. So what was the approach so far? There are two measures which are of opposite end of a spectrum. That means currently the approach of Northeast integration is having two-prong approach. The specialty of one is that it is diametrically opposite in nature, this approach. First one is sixth schedule status. The sixth schedule status, which is given by Constitution by Article 244A of the Constitution, gives autonomous to the region in this area. So it will help more in their self-governance system. So sixth schedule of the government was introduced in 1949. At the same time, there was very stringent provision or coercive provisions like ASPA Act. That means Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958. This ASPA Act 1958 provides power to the armed personnel to carry out search and warrant. Okay. So since 75 years since independence, we must look into how successful this integration was. So historical background, how this northeastern region became a frontier part of our country. So this northeastern region was mainly tribal areas of Assam, and the partly excluded area was neither racially historically was a form of a part of our mainland country. These were categorized as excluded or partly excluded by the government at that time. Since it is considered as an excluded territory, a special inner line permit was given to reach this region under Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act. this provision, which is still in constitution or in our country known as inner line permit. Inner line permit given to northeastern states. Later on, the chief commissioner's provinces were carved out of Bengal, and earlier Assam was annexed to British Bengal after the First Anglo-Burmese War of 1824 and 26, under which Treaty of Endeavour. So, after the Anglo-Burmese War, that means in this whole region which was part of Burma, this Anglo-Burmese War of 1824-26 later on annexed this region under Treaty of Endeavour to the Bengal's Commissioner's province. So now let's look into what is a strategic plan for Northeast. However, what strategic plan that government can advise for the betterment of Northeast? First of all, we must end all the dispute. This is mainly boundary, insurgency, racial, etc. The second aspect is we must ensure the economic progress and taking into regions' contribution to GDP back to pre-independence level. Then they provide much more in plantation cropping, agriculture, etc. Maintaining and preserving the region's languages, which is very much essential for maintaining cultural integrity. So it is very much essential for maintaining the cultural integrity of the country. So union government wants to make Northeast India as a part of Act East policy. So in Act East policy, which is the main part of foreign policy pillar, integrates Northeast with Southeast Asia. So it helps in have better connectivity, better economic exchanges with the countries in Southeast Asia. So what are the recent developments that is happening in the northeastern region? An agreement has been signed between Assam and Meghalaya, especially on the boundary disputes, and progress is made in other disputes. State border disputes dialogues are constituting steady pace in Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, and Mizoram. So the Assam, which is in the central part, is having boundary dispute with almost all the neighboring states in the northeast. So there has been better agreement for settling this dispute. Similarly, there are engagements to maintain peace and work out permanent solution. Ensure Home Affairs has been taking informal talks with stakeholders for the removal of ASPA. So ASPA has been a burning topic in the northeastern region since the historical times. So government has reached peace agreements with other insurgent groups. So even insurgency is also a burning issue in the northeastern region. Okay. So an example for that, the government has reached an agreement with Bodo, known as Bodo Peace Accord, and Karvi Anglon Agreement in 2021. Also, ASPA has been completely removed from Tripura in 2015 and in Meghalaya in 2018. Thus, this has led to removal of ASPA in majority of the region in northeastern part. So what are the measures that has to be taken? First is reimagining the border connectivity. So keeping an invasion of China possible in the future, there should be better border connectivity, especially with the neighboring states and neighboring countries like Bhutan and Arunachal Pradesh, Bangladesh, etc. So it also helps in having better infrastructure building in adventure sports, high-end tourism, horticulture development. Then promotion of horticulture, which is a very much important aspect in this region. An example for that is kiwi vines, tea tourism, etc. Celebrating local culture. We already know that there are certain festivals which are famous in the whole global level, like Hornbill Festival in Nagaland. So similarly, there are certain indigenous tribes like Mishmi tribe which have their own peculiar festivals to be celebrated in this region. And also promoting adventure tourism. The region is also famous for mountaineers and adventure tours in that region. Checking mass media narratives is often about conflict, Buddhism, and an national identity. So this is mainly a narrative because of Buddhist influence from Tibet. For example, monasteries are there in Arunachal Pradesh. So in order to overcome these challenges, there is a need for boosting digital connectivity, roads, and standardization of modest homestays. It also allows new tourism and local culture to be more part of our mainstream land. So on this aspect, we can integrate this Northeast India to our mainland country. Okay. So, why there is a need to address a local issue without impacting the development efforts? Because we need a culture of compensation since it is a region of both conflict and insurgency in the region. Tibetan refugee rehabilitation policy has been there, and the issues of drug abuse since it is part of Golden Triangle region in the northeast from Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, etc. So we need to cultivate a ground and integrate the local community in the border conversation is vital. So this is all about today's discussion. Hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow we will also come with new topic. Okay, please subscribe to the channel for the future updates. Thank you.